All right, going into part four. Part four is let go of the pressure to respond immediately. Chris Voss writes, many of us have the tendency to feel like we need to respond the moment the other side stops talking. They've said their piece, now it's time to say ours. Let go of the social pressures that forces you to feel like you need to respond immediately to what the other side says. By using dynamic silence, you can create a tremendous amount of space for yourself, to the point that the other side might feel the need to keep talking, giving you more information. Either way, you need to give yourself time to think about what the other side said in order to respond at the highest level. When you appear to be talking all angles into account and really considering the best way forward, you come across as very thoughtful. You become the kind of person that everyone wants to talk to, and that's the precursor to trust-based influence. Improving your negotiation and communication skills starts with developing a plan and acting on it. You might not be able to get to the next level overnight, but with enough grit, determination, and repetition, these skills can become second nature, becoming and making it that much easier to get to the other side to agree to the terms you lay out whenever you sit down at the table. Okay, so a lot of people go into sales thinking, I have a strategy that I need to stick with, and I'm going to come from A, B, C to D. And what they are saying is when the person stops talking, you don't have to have that need to have that response ready to go right away, because A, you might not have the best answer. B, you might be cutting them off when they're about to tell you what you really want to know. And C, you might come across as not listening to what they have to say. If you jump down their throat when they stop talking, they're going to be like, did he just listen to what I just said or not? So if somebody says in a real estate negotiation, I want to sell my building, but I want to make sure that it goes to somebody who knows about the local area and who is going to bring something beneficial to the area that I've grown up in my life, and I don't want to just sell it to some business guy trying to make $1, because I know my neighbor on the left and my neighbor on the right, and I just want to make sure I sell it to the right person. But if you ask him a question of, what's the lowest your amount to sell it for, and you jump down his throat like A, B, C, D, that might just turn him off. Opposed to that, when you say, so what's the biggest factor in you selling this business here? And you quiet up, right? And he says, obviously, getting the most amount of money I can get for it and being the best I can be. And you say, seems like there's something else that might be really more beneficial to you. And you be quiet and listen for just a little bit extra. And he might say, no, I just need to get the best value from my business. And you be quiet for those next couple seconds. And I grew up in this area. I know my neighbors, and I want the right people to move into here. That dynamic silence. That dynamic silence and that extra 2 seconds that you froze up and just let them speak, that dynamic silence could bring more information than you can ever gather by asking 9,000 questions. This is something I think you can read any book, you can watch any video on sales, and until this point, until Chris Voss and the Black Swan Group really put that out there, really puts it in black and white. And when these guys teach the Black Swan Group, they're not teaching on what should happen, what could happen, what blah, 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 shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're talking about things that have happened to save lives in hostage negotiations situations. So if there's anybody that knows what the power of dynamic silence can do, it's these guys. So what I ask you to do is The next time that you need to gather a little bit more information on somebody to see why they're really actually trying to relist their house after they took it off the market and trying to put it back on the market, you're trying to get a expired listing to list again with you. I encourage you to ask them. I understand you were trying to sell your house back a few months ago. Obviously, you wanted to sell the house, but it seems like there's another reason why you wanted to sell your house. Give it that much time, and if they don't give you more information, then you should write back to me and say, what you said is false. Because 99% of the time, when you call back on these expired listings and you say that exactly, listen, I know you were trying to sell your house back in November. Obviously, it wasn't successful. I'm not going to blame your broker, but it seems like there's another reason why you want to sell your house besides gaining liquidity. Am I right? Don't say anything. See how it feels right now? Like you're supposed to say something? That's the power. That's the mind. That's the human limbic system telling yourself or themselves that okay, now's the time for me to tell them exactly what I really want here. Okay, I want to sell my house so I can move closer to my other kid's school district, and I want to do it by this, that, and the third. But I cannot put on these open houses because it's just too much for me and my family that I have here, and that's just enough information that you need to close and get them to list with you. So if you want more strategies like these, by the way, I'm giving you guys information off of free articles that are listed on the website is the Black Swan Group Ltd.com. I've gone through their program thoroughly and learning it myself, but I find out that I'm a better teacher of the program than I am a person using the program myself. So if you are in a sales situation, a negotiation situation, and you're having difficulty with it, reach out to us at thepurplefishgroup.com, book your calendar event. We'll do a 30-minute consultation, and then we'll see if there's something we can do to put in place for your business to get you to convert these sales and these negotiations. Another benefit to working with the Purple Fish Group is we don't just work with the strategies that the Black Swan Group and Chris Voss uses. We work with strategies that other people such as Grant Cardone have used, Gary Vaynerchuk, Jordan Belfort, everybody whose information has been successful for us in the past, we have brought together to use. So this is tip number 4. This wraps it up for the 4 ways to improve your communications. And again, if there's any way that you see that this can help you, please reach out to us or go on the purplefishgroup.com, book your 30-minute consultation, and we'd be glad to partner up with you and get these sales rocking and rolling. So again, it's Lewis Carroll, the Purple Fish Group, and pleasure speaking to you. Take care, people.